Hi everyone, it's Ash from FPL Hints, here with my updated draft and final team selection ahead of matchday 11. As always, if you're able to like, share and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. Now just a quick point of note first of all. So when I first constructed my initial draft for matchday 11, I didn't really properly factor in the actual probabilities on who would actually go on to win the Champions League to further influence my picks. And also, I didn't really factor in the fact that beyond this current round, what the potential matchups could be like. So it's clear from the probabilities that are available that the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, and Bayern are the heavy favourites. And the ones that are really down the pecking order, which is fairly obvious as well, are Benfica, Lille, PSV, Club Brugge, and Feyenoord. So you've got a set of teams there that you can potentially target. In the case of the matchup with Liverpool and PSG, it's likely that the winner of that tie will play Aston Villa. So potential scope for getting Aston Villa cover potentially. And then Real Madrid and Atletico ultimately will be facing the winner of Arsenal and PSV. And then Barcelona very likely to progress to the next round, could potentially face Dortmund. And then you've got Bayern Munich and Leverkusen, who could potentially face Inter Milan. So that will be in my mode of thinking as well. And some of the players that I've already got, I will retain. So just keep it nice and simple. Girassi is someone who makes perfect sense for me. And Harry Kane as well. I know with Harry Kane in particular, his form has dipped significantly over the past few games for Bayern Munich. He's, of course, scoring goals for fun since he joined the club, but ultimately, he's had somewhat of a dry spell in terms of his goal scoring, as we can see on the screen there, that in terms of his last 4 matches, no goals and no assists. Despite that, again, factoring in Bayern's potential route if they progress, I think it makes sense to keep Harry Kane in my team selection for match day 11. And in terms of the other players that I'm going to retain, I do want some sort of Bayern Munich defensive cover, but then I think actually with Leverkusen, I'm expecting them to score goals, so I'll probably give a miss there. Then of course, you've got the likes of Musiala and Elise who I had before. I probably won't get Musiala, but could potentially revisit Elise. But I definitely want to boost my Inter Milan cover because I've got none whatsoever right now. And I'll target the initial fixture against Feyenoord. So just getting Inter Milan selected here. And you can see that the most popular picks, you've got Martinez, 9.4 million. Could I get him instead of Harry Kane? But in terms of his scoring throughout the Champions League, apart from the last 2 matches, he's had quite a few blanks as well. So he's a purple patch player, as it were. I think Dumfries has got the attacking prowess and De Vrij as well. So I'm going to actually pick both and just have them to attack that initial fixture. Yes, I'm mindful that if they beat Feyenoord, that you've got one of those German heavyweights waiting for them, but it's a risk I'm willing to take in this instance. Talking of which, let's just look at the highest owned players as it stands, just to see who are the popular picks. So you've got Lamine Yamal at 41% ownership. In terms of my picks, I'm going to quadruple up on Barcelona. I think they'll have a very good chance of getting to the final. So it's a tough one with Rafinha and Yamal, similar price point, but Rafinha's got double the number of points, so I'm happy to keep him. And I also, let's just in fact pick the Barcelona players right now. So I have double defensive Barcelona cover, got Koundé as my defender. And in terms of their goalkeeping, just if I can just find him here. So Chesney, there he is. So I'm going to stick with him. In terms of like his starting spot, he's basically started all the matches since the end of Jan, and I think Barcelona's main goalkeeper is actually out for the remainder of the season. So hopefully that should be a fairly safe pick there. So Chesney, Koundé, Rafinha, and then the other Barcelona player has to be Lewandowski. Just sort it by points as well. You can see Rafinha and Lewandowski are the highest in the Champions League for Barcelona this season. In terms of defense, got Martinez as well potentially, and interestingly enough, didn't start those previous matches, but I think Koundé is a relatively safe pick. It's featured in all the matches, so I'll keep him there. And then I've got the quadruple up now. So that was the one quadruple up I definitely wanted to have. With Dortmund in particular, just showing that pathway again against Lille, I definitely need attacking and defensive cover, and I'll probably have a think as to what can be done later on, because the pathway for them will get trickier against Barcelona if they were to progress. So I think Schlotterbeck will be the other option there. I'm not going to double up on their defense. And the other player that springs to mind for Dortmund, just get there. So Ademi, 7.3 million, started off well, then didn't feature, and then picking up form once again. So I'll have him as a placeholder for now, but I think he does make sense due to this fixture. And just going back to the picks once again. So there's one player I am going to back, and it's someone who actually not really had it regularly in UCL Fantasy this season, Mohamed Salah, but of course a regular pick for me in FPL. So I think he is a lock there as well. Of course, difficult match against PSG, and then potentially facing Villa, and barring any shocks, could progress quite deep into this competition. And as I'm going to pick Mohamed Salah, I do potentially want to get Trent Alexander in as well. The other players, you've got Hakimi, highly owned, but I think it's Liverpool and be a tough one for them. So won't pick him. Musiala, won't be picking him either. Got Bellingham, who's suspended. Got Rudiger against Atletico, probably won't pick him. But David Raya, I do want to pick due to the fixture. And yeah, clean sheets have been a bit of a problem for him this season, but I think it's worth having him. Crucially, just showing you the dates that David Raya plays on the Tuesday, so Chesney plays on the Wednesday, so if it all goes wrong, I can just switch them out. And the other player I had in mind was Saliba. I'm just going to have as a placeholder for now, so have double Arsenal defence. And again, the pathway will get difficult for them if they do progress. So yeah, don't want to load up on a triple up. That leaves me with 18.3 million to complete the final two spots for my team in match day 11. In terms of the players who've scored the most number of points I've not picked yet, yep, I know Florian Wirtz is right up there, and I really can't look beyond picking him. So it's not like Bayern's defense is like rock solid, as it were, this season. So I do want to pick Florian Wirtz, partly due to ownership, but also due to his overall form. And then that remaining midfield spot, just in terms of points, Kochu, yeah, I'm not going to pick him. And then just further on, Dembele, I think he is capable of scoring against Liverpool, but it's just that concern that I don't see any progression for them beyond this round. I might actually ultimately have to land on a Bayern player, because just the risk ultimately that I need some sort of cover from Bayern beyond Harry Kane. And Elise is in form for sure, bang for buck as well. You've got the likes of Musiala, not really hot in form. So yeah, I'm gonna clearly I'm not gonna max out my budget. I have a fair bit of cash available. Just looking at in terms of percentage owned, if there's any misses here. Again, got Musiala highly owned. And Dembele comes up again. Elise as well. Yeah, it's a tough one. So yeah, triple up with Dortmund. I'm fairly content with that. Quadruple up with Barcelona. I definitely need Real Madrid cover actually. So if I was to pick between Real and Atletico Madrid, I think Real Madrid will progress. I would have picked Bellingham, but he's suspended. So just seeing what else I could do here. Valverde definitely not. It's a bit of a risk as well. And just going further down, yeah, I'm not going to pick Brahim Diaz. I might actually have to have no Real Madrid cover. It would have been Bellingham. And of course, you got likes of Rodrigo, Mbappe Jr. Could I free up a slot perhaps for Real Madrid? I think they're bound to score. It's a tough one. I mean, would I get rid of Guirassy, Lewandowski, or Kane? I mean, I could take out Lewandowski, get in Yamal, get Mbappe in. But with Lewandowski in particular, I know his form was a bit mixed last season, but it's really hard to ignore Lewandowski this season. I'll just bring up his stats here. You can see he is in fine goal scoring form. Has blanked a couple of times in his last 6 games. So yeah, I'll be hard pushed not to pick him. So can't really get rid of him. I think Guirassy can't drop him either due to fixture and form. Harry Kane, to be honest with you, lacks a form. So I could get rid of Harry Kane, get Mbappe in, because with Mbappe, he's finally picked up a bit of traction in his recent Champions League outing for Real Madrid against Man City. So got Vinicius Jr. as well. I do need someone there from Real Madrid, I guess. I'll pick Mbappe. And then got 10.2 million to spend. Not that it really matters, but I've given up Bayern attacking midfield cover. Just sort it, but it might point me back to Musiala. Again, I don't want to pick on percentage, but it might be the only way here. Like just as a reminder of the probabilities that it's the projection is that Barcelona and Real Madrid, who are in opposite sides of the draw, have a good chance to progress all the way to the final. So yeah, it would be a miss if I had 4 Barcelona players and just no Real Madrid players. So in he comes. And yeah, with Bayern Munich, just bringing up the chart once again. I think they're capable of progressing further as well. I think I need a Musiala. Let's just get him in as well. So I wasn't going to max out the budget, but looks like it's maxed out more than I would have hoped. So yeah, just Musiala as my only cover from Bayern Munich. And with Musiala in particular, just going to bring up his form of late just to give it a quick look over. His form hasn't been great. He's a regular starter for Bayern Munich, but what's that? 2 goals in his last, almost 8-9 matches. So, yeah, it's a bit of a hard sell. I might actually go for Elise, because with Elise at least, he has got, I forget, put price aside, he's got a bit of form to his name. So just bring it up here. So Elise has got the form. I'll stick with Musiala, I guess. So let's lock in those transfers. Just confirm it now, and then just going to sift and sort this team out accordingly with the date. So Chesney starts on the Wednesday. David Raya from his. There we go. Just switching him out there, and just get the date up again. So Saliba, I'll bring in for De Vrij. There we go, and then get in Schlotterbeck for Koundé. Confirmed. In terms of the other starters, I mean, Musiala playing on the 5th. If I'm not mistaken, in terms of the matches as well, that we'll know ahead of Club Brugge Aston Villa who the starters will be for that match, and then the day after will be Inter and Feyenoord's match as the early kickoff. So yeah, it's a bit of a risk having Musiala, but I'll stick with him. So just confirm that there. So Koundé, and in terms of captaincy, so of course 4th of March, I've got Ademi, got Guirassy, who missed a penalty and I captained him last time out, which wasn't great. Got Mbappe as well. I've made all that effort getting him in. I could potentially captain him. I think my Wednesday captain would definitely be Mohamed Salah. So, yeah, I mean, Lewandowski could have been a shout as well, but yeah, let's go for the higher threshold. Actually, Guirassy had that amazing form, so hopefully he can make up for it. Ultimately, it really goes down to the opposition. So I think I'm gonna go for higher risk for my first captain. Yeah, let's pick Guirassy. He let me down. Hopefully, he won't let me down second time around. So confirm that now. So with my team, I've got the quadruple up with Barcelona. I've got a triple up with Dortmund. Just one Real Madrid player for now in Mbappe, and then just one Liverpool player. I did contemplate potentially getting Trent Alexander-Arnold in, but I'll go for the double up with Inter Milan for now. Again, I've kind of not fully committed to the long-term plan on the possibilities, but I'm also attacking these initial matches as well. So David Raya in goal for the opener, and then of course switching out him in case he blanks, and then Chesney comes in. We've got Rafinha, Koundé as well. So there we have it. That is my team, Guirassy captain, for match day 11 confirmed. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Have I got the balance right? Have I got the balance wrong? And are there any big misses that I need to address? And who are you going to pick ahead of match day 11? As always, if you're able to like, share, and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. Take care and all the best.